rebound to Andre Powell. Hall can't get it to go, and there's 50 for Carlos Ellis. Again, the pace just as fast and furious as it was the first half, Dave.
Sure is, and it especially looks like a big Reds are looking to move the ball up and down the floor. They had some momentum at the end of the half, and I think they want to keep rolling with it.
Let's see who the foul's on is Tony Miller will go to the line, I believe, to shoot 2. 5-0, that's Rob Dawson. That's his second. Resetting the third quarter lineup for Tony Miller at the line, joined by his brother Terry Miller, Keith Gates, Dwayne Ward, Carlos Ellis, and Ryan Coleman. For Northern, Bobby Wright, Bob Dawson, Andre and Tony Powell, and Chris Hall. And again, Corey Snyder, that leg injury must be deeper than we thought. Again, does not come out for the third quarter.
No, I would have to believe that Coach Hanton won't be able to go to Troy in the second half, because if he could have, I think you'd see that he'd be in the second half starting line.
He's handed to a lot of players, and they pick up the slack. Again, they lead by 7, now 6, as Miller splits the pair.
So Coach Hanton's going to Chris Hall, a senior, to lead the offense out there right now. That senior leadership can be so important, especially when the point guard goes down. Inside, so he's going to be careful that he doesn't get sloppy and pick up his fourth here.
Northern, as they start the game, full court pressure, man-to-man defense. Takes inside of Coleman, a little left-handed jump hook. Ryan Coleman.
Good look on the inside.
Notice one thing here early, David. I started the ball game in a 3-2 zone. Second half to come out full court, man-man, all the way down.
Oh, they just throw it away right there. They make a good defensive play, but Brian Coleman, he just wasn't able to get the ball to Terry Miller. Randy, at the end of the half, I noticed Cornier and High had gone to some pressure man-to-man, and I think Jim really liked the success he had with it and came right out in the second half.
The sophomore Beckham with the ball checks in as Rob Dawson sits down with his third personal. Beckham quickly shot, air ball, rebound, Coleman. Coast to coast, can't get it to go right, rips it down for Northern. 32-28 score, all by himself. Nice pump move, puts it up, a little lackadaisical getting back.
Yeah, they were on that time. But the amazing thing is, when Bobby Wright touches the ball, he draws the crowd, and that allowed Chris Hall to be wide open on the offensive end.
Miller shots up, rattles the home for Miller. As soon as we get a timeout, Dave, I'll let you recap the scores here. The pace is so fast and furious right now, we missed a little bit of action, so we'll save that for the first timeout we get.
Sounds like a good idea. Northern looks like they want to try to pull him out of the zone here. They've got Chris Hall and Brian Beckham just playing catch out top, trying to draw Keith Gates into some pressure man here again.
I like this defense by Coach Jim early because, again, his team's got a lot of foul trouble, so you've got to stay back a little bit, especially Keith Gates.
Yeah, they are in a lot of foul trouble right now. They have 3 players each with 3 fouls in the first half. Northern. They were led by Andre Powell with 15 points. Brother Tony Powell chipped in with 8. Rob Dawson had 4 points, all coming from the free throw line. For Huron High, Brian Coleman led the way with 8 points, Tony Miller with 7 points, and Terry Miller with 4 points. So coming in, we're looking at the battle of the brothers, and the first half was won by Huron Northern. With so far in the second half, though, the pressure that Huron High has come out in really rattled the Huskies.
Well, again, Brian Coleman stepped up real big here early underneath. For the Big Reds, they've got to have his senior leadership and his bulk inside. He's got a man's body, and he's got to use it here. As Northern High has got the halftime deficit from 7-2 with 4:50 to go in the third quarter.
What I liked about Brian Coleman is he's 6'2", 215 pounds, and he's really asking for the ball inside. Comment on that, Randy. He has 2 points, both coming from the foul line early on in the first quarter. Since then, he's been silent and hardly touched the ball.
If you would have told me that before the game, I wouldn't have believed it.
And I wouldn't believe that Northern's winning by 2 points if you had told me that.
2-on-1, Paul goes up, can't keep it up, good no call. Coleman up to Terry Miller, 1-on-2, he'll slow it down. Terry looks good, can't get the goal, and Ellis all over the back, off for the foul.
That might be number 4 on Ellis. And it is, as Coach Hurley goes to his bench for Dwayne Ward.
That's Carlos's
4th foul.
Ward welcome in for Carlos Ellis.
Once again, you see Brian Coleman on the line. He's been a force for the Big Reds here tonight.
38-36 Northern as Coleman cuts it to one. They look to tie the ball game up with 3:15 to go in the third quarter.
Another big man with a good release from the foul line. He's 3 of 3 so far, trying to go 4 for 4.
Not at 38. Nice move. Number 22, Tony Paul. That makes a highlight film, man. That was
Oh, another screen by Coleman up top. He went down trying to draw the offensive foul, but Jim Media wouldn't give him a call.
Keith Gates went underneath, but he got the ball knocked out of his hands. Keith again hasn't played much because he's been saddled with 3 fouls. Hasn't picked up any though in the third quarter.
Watch the intensity picking up here. You see a lot of pushing and shoving going on under the boards. The referee's just warned both sides.
Nice pass by Miller behind Coleman. And Coleman has been the forcer in the third quarter for Portland High.
He has 8 points so far, Randy.
I think we've got a foul on number 22, Miller. Let's check it. Jeremy
block and he wants it. He's got Dawson on his hip. They should look inside to him.
They're trying to get it in, scramble underneath. Off, quarter nine. Northern inbound.
Well, they did exactly what we thought. They tried to get into Coleman, but he just bounced off somebody's knee and out of bounds.
Again, relentless pressure by the quarter nine defender.
They run a little bit of a run and jump press out there. If your man gets a little bit too close to somebody else, they'll trap you, and they're doing a very good job of that right now.
Bobby Rice got that. Bobby Rice, they haven't gotten the ball all game. The last few rounds of the quarter, and good things happen.
I agree. He's their offensive leader. They didn't get the ball to him enough in the first half. They got him now in the second half, and he's got 5 points.
Northern retakes the lead by 1, 45-44, under a minute to go in the third quarter. Bobby will try to cap off a fine three-point play. He doesn't. Rebound Ward. Ward from 10. Can't get to go. Rebound Ward. He puts it back up. Block. And there's Beckham for Northern. Runs into Terry Miller, and Terry Miller will pick up his third foul. Beckham took a unintentional forearm to the chops there.
Terry Miller was just trying to get back, prevent the easy layup.
That's a good foul.
It really was, because he fouled him on the ground. It's a non-shooting foul. So Northern will inbound on their own basket.
Coleman comes out. Van Williams in for Porter Knight with 22 seconds to go. Under foul, turnaround jumper short, rebound Ward. Miller shot up and good. High by 1, 10 seconds.
Tony Miller, the sophomore, stepping up big in a big game.
On Brian Beckham. They would Porter Knight lead by 1. They have 3 seconds to try to get off the shot.
That was a good call. He hit it with both hands, just crossing the 10-second line.
And Tony Miller couldn't get the ball in, so he'll use a timeout. I don't know if that's really what you wanted to use. If there was 3 seconds left in the game, maybe. But 3 seconds left in the third quarter, we'll have to see if that timeout hurts him. But the sophomore didn't like what he saw and called a timeout.
Well, he was having trouble getting the ball in bounds. With only 3 seconds left, they couldn't have inbounded it. Northern would have had a chance to get right under the bucket, get a last-second shot off, and maybe take the lead going into the fourth quarter. Heads-up move right there by Miller.
Public address announcer John Brown giving the numbers for the 50-50 score. Which I did not win tonight, David, but it's got to be worth probably close to $100, I would think, for this crowd here.
I think it's got to be more than that.
Even referee Jim Gosper's checking to see if he wants some money here tonight. I don't blame him. I think everybody in here bought a ticket tonight.
I think he's lucky he didn't, because I think you can see the crowd from one side or the other not real happy with him winning the payoff.
Three-quarter shot, long call for Terry Miller. At the end of 3, Porter Knight, who trail by 7 at the half, are up by 1 now. Fast score 46-44.
was still 5, and it seemed like sometimes you'd have a team on the line as soon as the game started, and then they would sit there the rest of the game. I like this. It's more to the professional and college level, and it gives a kid a chance to play out there rather than deciding it on the line. Stepping up the defensive pressure here.
Now I thought about the three. You got yourself up in the air. That's one thing when you're up in the air. You got to shoot it. You thought about it. Let it go out of bounds to Northern.
What made that play right there was Bobby Wright. Bobby Wright had very good defensive pressure. And I don't believe Terry Miller thought he could out-jump him for the shot, so he tried to pass it off, but there was nobody there.
49-45 on the scoreboard. High with the 4-point lead. Inside the foul. Can't get to go. Rebound. Keith Gates. A little guard snuck through the middle to rip the rebound down. And Coleman on the bench, who was the whole story in the third quarter. Nice block by Beckham. But Terry Miller gets it back. High ever so slowly starts to pull away with 6 minutes to go in the ballgame.
And they have a 6-point lead, and they are looking at Terry Miller to shoot the ball here in the fourth quarter.
All shot, well shot, rebound board. Nothing going offensively here in the fourth quarter for Northern. Gates throws it off, nothing. Rebound Ward, nothing underneath. Good block. Here comes Bobby Wright and Northern. And Tony Powell just could not handle the pass.
Northern's not responding real well to this 6-point lead by the Big Reds.
But the high crowd is definitely into it, and the Northern crowd very silent. Keith Gates. Oh, that's Keith. I think you're going to have to get a timeout here. High leads by 8.
I agree. They have to get an answer here. I look for him to go to Bobby Wright.
Big offensive possession here for Northern. Shots up and good by Tony Powell. Big effort.
That was very good. They were patient, worked the ball inside to Andre Powell for 2.
Shots off, short, rebound 2. Northern.
Andre and Tony Powell almost turned the ball over there.
Both teams, I think, very tired on the floor. Powell shot. And Northern answers the last 2 times before. Now the Northern fans get back into the ball game. Coach Jim Rolling calls a timeout with 4, 3, 5 to go in the ball game. Northern High 53 for your Northern 49.
What a game, Randy. Just as you predicted at the end of the third quarter, the senior leadership is going to be important, and Andre Powell has stepped up with 2 big buckets here to cut the lead back from 8 to 4. And on the other end, we see that Terry Miller has hit a 3 and a 2 this quarter, so the seniors are doing it out there.
30 seconds to go, quarter 9, a big run led by 8. I thought Coach Andy would time out. Andre Powell steps up, and it's 2 big pressure buckets to the floor. And again, our listening audience, please stay with us for the remaining 4:35. Again, Case has never let down from an opening gun.
I looked at Coach Voss up in the scouting booth. He's got to be impressed with Andre Powell and Terry Miller and some of the other players out here on the floor. Hopefully for him, he can keep some of these players around to play at the college next year.
Well, Coach Boss has definitely turned it around at the college. Won 3 games.
But that's another senior, Randy. We'll keep going back to that. The senior leadership on the floor. Another big screen out there.
Gates way outside, can't get it to go. Rebound two. I believe off the hands of Pickett. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the call.
Off the hands of John Pickett.
Boy, if you watch Coleman out there, screen after screen after screen, he'd be a player Bobby Knight would like to watch.
He knows his role. He plays it well. Miller shots up well short. There's Coleman. Blocked. There's Miller. Off the basket. Terry Miller.
Terry Miller got the 2 points, Randy. But Brian Coleman should get an assist because he kept that thing wide.
Steal by Miller. Coast to coast. And foul on Tony Powell. His fourth. And the defensive pressure just amazing here as the big red fades up off their feet with 3:19 to go. 14 Dave Bear checks in. John Pickett sits out for Northern.
Right now, the Big Reds just have too much quickness with the 40-run Northern guards. They're having trouble getting the ball.
That's where they miss Snyder. There's no doubt about it. In and out, but there's Coleman underneath. Right up the basket. Brian Coleman missing everything here in the second half. And he'll go to the line to try to cap off the three-point play. Northern has not been able to answer the fine play of Brian Coleman here in the second half. He has been the difference.
He sure has, Randy. He's got 10 points from the floor. He's got another 4 on the line, so 14 points in the second half. Go with his 8 first half points.
They looked to him. They didn't look to him in the first half. They looked to him in the second half, and that has been the difference. Warrior High with the biggest lead of the night by 10, 59-49. Coleman for 1.
Credit Coach Early. He must have seen something that he corrected at halftime, and they're going into him here in the second half.
Nice give and go. Powell shot blocked by Tony Miller, and he's called for the foul.
Maybe his first foul.
And with 3:08 to go, Coach Dan Ham will use the second of 3 timeouts as his team trails by 10, trying to set some offensive strategy here.
Well, it's a little bit early right now, Randy, for them to feel they have to go to the 3-point shot. I'm sure they'll look to it, right there, beating the press, getting the ball to the middle of the floor, having a true 3-on-1. Excellent play by Kate, and Coleman with the finish.
Coleman knew that was a bad foul. Stop the clock. 49 wants the clock to run. And that's Brian Smith. And Brian Coleman, who played one whale of a second half, brought his team back to take the lead. My MVP of the second half of this game is Brian Coleman.
I agree. You can just see the spark he gave to the Big Reds, because when he came off, they all got up to congratulate him on a fine ball game played.
It's too bad. I'm sure if he wanted to pick his fifth foul, he wasn't be that far out. No need for that one.
No, I'm sure he would have rather have been on an important shot inside, but nonetheless, he picked it up.
Beckham, Northern in the last 20 seconds, 3 for 3 from the line. Inching back closer and closer. They trail by 9. Beckham wanted to rebound to Ellis. To me, Porter High should spread the floor. They don't need to shoot it. Gates does. Don't fall. Rebound 2. Probably going to have a jump ball.
It's Northern's possession.
Bodies flying all over. We will have a jump ball. Possession up there in Northern. And again, no need for Keith Gates to shoot that ball. They're up by 9. Spread the court. Northern has to foul. You're in a 1-on-1 situation.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Early would have rather him pull the ball back out rather than try to penetrate and take an unnecessary shot.
The clock favors High. It's the enemy in Northern. Beckham for 2. He gets the goal out of bounds. We've 2 Porter and Northern.
He looked to Beckham the last couple times down. I wonder if Porter on High is trying to take Bobby Wright and Andre Powell out of the shooting. There's Beckham again.
Beckham behind net. 61-54. Oh, nice pass there. Got away with one. Oh, and Keith Gates out of control. Last 2 times down. The junior got a little rattled. They just got to slow it down. Northern not out of it by any means with 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
No, they're down by 7. With a 3-point shot, you're never out of these ball games when you come to the single figures.
I'll look for a pick, didn't have one. Nice play by Gates. Keith Gates. Nobody stepped up to help Andre Powell. Struck by Keith Gates, a big bucket there.
That's what he made up for a couple mistakes on the other end of the floor with a big steal in the bucket.
Beckham, the sophomore, shots up. Can't get it to go, but he'll shoot 2. And it's been the sophomore lately. Beckham. That's his stepped up offensively for Porter and Northern. Keith Gates picks up his 4th. Keith, who had 2 fouls, 2 minutes ago into the ball game, sat down, picked up his 3rd, sat down, and didn't pick up his 4th for well over a quarter and a half. So Keith did a fine job staying out of foul trouble in the second half.
Yes, he doesn't. His stats aren't going to show it, but his quickness has been a big plus to the Big Reds out there in the second half.
Beckham, the sophomore, that's the lead to 8.
Once again, they're taking points off the score with the clock not running.
Ryan, it's again. Against High, just has to slow it down. Almost a steal. Who's it against? It's off. Tony Miller. I think Coach Early could use the timeout.
There it is, Randy Goodfall. He's called for right now.
He lets one out of the refs don't see it, and they do call a timeout. Porter and I, who led by 14 until Coleman fouled out, has been a little erratic down the stretch.
Big Reds because we'll win here tonight. They're going to get right back into the thick of things of the MAC Red Division. And to have Sterling Heights coming into their home floor, they can very well still win this conference.
Chris Holden bounce to Powell. Puts the shot up. And he gets the ball home. High by 5. Almost a turnover. That would have been big, but High got it back. Slow it up. They don't. He goes up. Can't get it to go. But there's more. Browns it home. Again, I don't think that's what High wants to do, but they got the basket.
I think Coach Early is asking for them to pull it out, but they're just not getting that done.
And I believe the foul time on Miller.
That's Tony Miller's second foul, so he's okay.
And we've got a team. And I believe it's on the Big Reds. I don't know if it's on Gates. I don't know if it's out of the game. It is on Keith Gates.
Boy, that really hurts because now what's going to happen, Corey Norton's going to go to the line, shoot for foul shots, one individual foul, shoot for 2 technical fouls, and get the ball back out of bounds. So this could be a 6-point play or a 7-point play.
Warriors High has got to slow it down, regain their composure. That foul is not count against Keith.
No, that's a new rules change now, Randy, this year. He will have fouled, if that, yes, that's his 5th, because technicals now count as personal fouls this year. That's been a Michigan high school rule change. So he's out of the ball game, I believe.
I believe Brian Coleman and Keith Gates with 5 fouls in the Big Reds will give the junior a fine round of applause. Big free throws here for Andre Paul. Again, the clock stopped, but Andre can't get it to go.
That was the 1-and-1 that he missed right there. So that was a costly
That was
miss.
a big miss. That was a 2-point swing there. He misses it again.
We're going to leave him on the line there. Beckham was hot from the line. I'm surprised Coach Hand didn't go with him to shoot the technical.
Hard, but he got it to go. I thought it was a little too hard. Andre hits 1 of 3 to cut it to 6, but he could have cut it to 3. And again, 2 big misses there at the free throw line. And Northern with the ball, like you said, it could have been a 6-point swing. Now possibly, if they hit the trade, a 4-point swing.
There's Beckham. He's going to step up. I'm surprised he didn't shoot that. He's been hot out there.
1 minute to go, right just inside the line. Bobby Lloyd, 65-61, Warriors High. And a foul on Hall.
That's his 4th foul. Reporter here on bench is asking for an intentional foul, but that's a good hard foul. Going after the ball, trying to stop the clock and keep the Huskies in the ball game.
A lot of time. A minute to go, 55 seconds. One-on-one situation for Terry Miller. Again, free throws, very important down the stretch. 65-61 our score.
That's a big foul shot right there.
Well, this one will mean that Northern will only still need 2 possessions, but they'll need 2 possessions, and it'll have to be 3-pointers.
That's right. Those are tough.
Miller hits the ball. Northern quickly up court. Back up for the 3. In and out. Rebound. 2. Northern.
Tony Powell in there battling one off. I believe it was Tony Miller inside. violation.